Well, like March, albeit not as extreme, it has been a very, very cold open to the month of April. Thanks for clicking on to the Thursday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Folks down across England and Wales probably saying, what's the big deal? Because we've been seeing temperatures into the double figures. And yeah, it has been fairly mild across southern and even central portions of the British Isles. But get yourself north of the border and it has been anything but mild. Yesterday was a very interesting day for me. A difference of maybe 50 metres or so. I was going out of the snow, I was going back into the snow, but overall, snow fell pretty much from daybreak to sunset last night, and I seen upwards of a couple of inches of snow in some parts as I was in and around Edinburgh, around Cumbernauld. There was some snow and even a slushy coating on the roads as well. So nothing typical about April 4th, 2018, that's for sure. High pressure moved in through the course of yesterday evening as the area of low pressure, that pesky low, which pushed rain, sleet, and snow north initially at the beginning of the week. Then it kind of sank back south, and that was in my forecast, by the way, for the middle and latter half of this week, that the system and the precipitation would move north. We would have that milder air, which we've seen temperatures as high as 16 over the last couple of days in and around the Humber estuary. But that system then sank back south again, and with colder air wrapping in the backside of it, we've seen rain turn back over to snow again, and the biggest snowfall, in fact, came as that system sank back south. Then, of course, skies cleared out last night with snow on the ground. We had a pretty unusual, last night was quite interesting driving out of Cumbernauld at around, about just the back at 8 o'clock last night, and still seeing daylight and snow cover on the ground. And then even this morning, folks waking up and driving to work with snow on the ground. It's not your typical sight when you've got the sun up at that time of the day, whether it be 6 a.m. in the morning or whether it be 7:30 p.m. at night. You don't typically see at that time of the day daylight and snow on the ground. So quite interesting, that's for sure. We are going to warm things up as we push even through the course of today. Instead of temperatures being stuck at 1 or 2 degrees yesterday afternoon, we're going to be back up near 10 as we have lighter winds and of course sunshine, and that sunshine is really going to be noticeable today. We get rid of the cloud cover, and you will feel a big difference in the feel of that the air out there today. So any snow from yesterday is going to be history, and that's probably going to be the last of the snow for the season. You will be glad to know. Just a quick look at the GFS, and you can see here as we go through the latter half of this week and into the weekend, we do have a system pushing in that is going to be increasing southerly winds, and a fairly big a big wheel of low pressure really out over the northeast Atlantic here. And what the good thing for the UK is it's going to be positioned to the west of the UK with high pressure centered over southeast Germany, and what that will do is it's going to allow a nice warm flow to come up from the south. We could be talking about temperatures, believe it or not, over the weekend in some parts of the southeast and eastern England around 20 Celsius, and that of course would be without a question, without a doubt, the warmest temperature of the year so far. 16.1 in Hull a couple of days ago was in fact the warmest of the year so far. But we are going to enhance the southerly winds as a frontal system approaches from the west. You can see here a nice clear slot over the bulk of England. Certainly the eastern side of England in particular, with a fresher southerly wind and sunshine, we are going to see the temperature jack up quite nicely here. Then that front clears through and it kind of cools down a wee bit on the back side of that front. As we go forward here, I think it's going to be an interesting mid and late portion of the month overall, because I do think we are going to start to see signs or hints at least of something that bit warmer. Now let's have a look at the 5-day increments here in terms of the temperature anomaly here. So this is the upcoming 5 days. You can see here milder than normal across England and Wales, and a lot of that is thanks to the next few days of southerly winds and sunshine. going to help temperatures get into the high teens. Scotland, where there's still snowpack on the ground over the Highlands in particular, we're going to hold on to that chilly air, that chilly feel. Into the 6 to 10 day period, we still hold on to something on the cool side, if you notice, across the eastern side of Scotland and even England, slightly milder than normal across the southern half of the UK. But also notice here, even over western Scotland, we're talking about some milder conditions starting to show its hand, and the 11 to 15 day. So, I think we are going to have a kind of slow progression out of this wintry weather. Of course, at this time of the year, it doesn't hold on forever, but it's going to be interesting to see just how long it takes to really properly warm up. Now, we're going to see the temperatures in the mid-teens probably over the weekend across Scotland, the upper teens to around 20 locally around some parts of eastern England, but then we're going to have this kind of back and forth between mild, very mild, and then kind of tempered back to a cooler regime once again. We are not going to go to sudden summer, I'm afraid, this month. And when all is said and done, it's going to be interesting to see where the average temperature levels off at. A very cold start to April 2018 for Scotland, a little less cold further south across England and Wales because we've held on to the milder air here. And I think overall we could wind up cooler than normal across Scotland, but in fact milder than normal across the southern portion of the British Isles. So we are going to warm up this weekend. We are warming up even through the course of today. We are going to get a bit of back and forth. Certainly the mildest weather will be south of the border, and hopefully now we will get rid of any kind of snowy precipitation with the exceptions of high ground. So that's it for today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll be back in the next few days with more. Bye for now.